is Rebecca Schissel Marshall with Whole Body Upgrade, a podcast to help you get unstuck, feel better, and have more energy. Let's get started. Episode 58, What if you are fully supported? I want to begin by welcoming in the directions. I welcome in the great direction of the east, the direction of the south, and of the west, and of the north. And I welcome in the direction that is above and below, and the direction that is within. I welcome in all the helping and loving, compassionate spirits that are of the light. And I welcome in the ancestors who have lived well and died well and are here to support us in each and every day. I acknowledge that I'm on the land of the Creek and the Cherokee in what is now known as Athens, Georgia. Hello, dear ones. How are you? How are you today? I have been having some pretty amazing sessions this week with my clients. I speak to a lot of different women. Most of my clients are through referral. They mostly come to me from other people, and so I get a wide range. So I have a lot of women who have health issues, that is for sure, and women who are stuck in business, actually women and men. I have both women and men that come to me, or stuck in romantic relationships, or if they're stuck energetically or spiritually in their lives, or even emotionally. So it's a wide range of topics each time I meet with clients. And I always find it interesting when the schedule that I have lined up, when everyone comes in and there's a theme that happens with these clients, that the same message keeps coming through. So the conversations I've been having this week, I feel like they really need to be shared, not just with the clients, but with everyone. It's something I kind of see showing up in the collective. One theme that's come up multiple times has been the concept of being supported. This is not just this week. It shows up often for a lot of my clients. Women, my experience, and a lot of the women that I talk to don't feel supported in their day-to-day lives. They just don't feel supported. They may not feel supported in their jobs or their romantic relationships or family or really in society. It's a concept that I've experienced myself in my life, and I found many different ways to address that I wanted to share with you. For many years, I tried to seek out support. I really looked outside of myself. I looked to other people for the support that I needed. I looked externally for that support. And I find that I still do this today. It's not in the same, I looked outside for everything. Like, where should we go to dinner? I don't know. You decide, right? I was looking to everyone else, not looking to what I wanted. I would reflexively reach out. And I still occasionally, right, still an ingrained pattern that I look at. Eventually, what I realized is that while it may be kind of a gut response of like, okay, what is everybody else doing? What does everybody else say about this? It often wasn't what I needed. And even today, I still see that as true, is that I think I need to find that answer somewhere. But what's really needed is an answer from me. So when I need support, there are two ways that I've found to be the most helpful in receiving support and knowing that I'm fully supported. The first one seems counterintuitive, but it's supporting myself. And the second way is asking the guides for support. So let's talk first about supporting myself. For many people, this may seem ridiculous or impossible, especially if you're feeling overwhelmed or you're in a challenging situation. And I'm not saying don't ask for support from other people. That's not what this is about. This is more about, changing the narrative, the conversation that you're having with yourself. This, to me, is the heart of the method. It is how to show up compassionately for ourselves. That's one of the really primary focuses of what I do for myself and what I teach my clients to do for themselves. So let me explain a little bit, because while it's a super simple concept, it can be difficult because it's different, and it can be challenging to explain because just because it's simple doesn't mean it's necessarily easy to do, especially we're not taught how to do this. So most of us walk around in the world identified as a younger part of ourselves that's been hurt and is trying to hold it all together. I often joke around that for many years, it was really my 5-year-old that was going to work. And it's true, I joke around about it, but it's kind of funny when I think about it, is I was identified with that 5-year-old part of me, and she was the one who was going to faculty meetings and at the university. So for so many years, she was the one kind of doing the job of being an academic professional. That 5-year-old was trying so hard. She was okay, but she was really wondering, why is this so hard? And it, really wasn't her job to be there. It wasn't her responsibility to be at the office. It wasn't her responsibility to do any of the adult stuff that was in her life. And yet, that's who kept showing up for a variety of different reasons. So as I learned to support myself, I supported that 5-year-old child. I gave her the support she needed, and then gave her permission to ride on her bike, play on the swings, instead of going to the job. So, my adult self goes to the job. My 5-year-old goes and swings, right? It wasn't her responsibility to be at the job. It was the older, wiser self who was the one who had gotten the PhD, who had learned how to be in academia. That was the one who really needed to show up and do the job. So I learned how to support myself emotionally, mentally, right? What thoughts did I need to think? What part of me was showing up? How did she feel? And also energetically, right? To provide the relief that I needed to move on. So thinking about that part of you, how you can support yourself. What do you need to hear? And that's often a question I'll ask is, what does that younger part of you need to hear? What do you need to hear? How can you support yourself right now? This was a huge relief for me. It was a huge relief. I can't even tell you how big of a difference it was for me to know that I had my own back, that I was there for me. This was huge for me. And I find that when my clients understand how to do this for themselves, they really feel the difference it makes when they are able to show up as the wise, compassionate adult for the younger parts of themselves, no matter what is going on in their lives. It doesn't mean we try to change the circumstance. It doesn't mean that we can't ask for help from other people, but it just means that we show up and support ourselves too, right? They become fully supported in and of themselves. This was really the first layer of support for me, I found. And quite frankly, that alone would have been enough. I'm laughing because I was so far deep. It would have been enough to dig me out of the hole I was really living in my 20s. I was suffering. I was suffering deeply. And for a variety of different reasons that didn't have anything to do with my life, my circumstances. It had to do with that I just didn't know these different ways of supporting myself. I just hadn't been taught. So that made a huge difference, right? That's one layer that I want to teach and encourage to my clients. Many years later, the second one came into play when I came to learn about shamanism and guides and realized that I was also supported by all of these different spirit guides, beings that were available to me. It just wasn't me as well. It wasn't that I happened to be supported by the guides. It's that everyone is supported by the guides. In shamanism, it's viewed that for each person, when they're born, that a power animal or a guide steps forward and volunteers to support them on the entirety of their lives, right? Just think about that there is an entity, a being that steps forward to be with you your entire life. It's such a sweet reminder of the reciprocity of spirit and the human world, of nature in the human world, that we are always supported. I like to take it a step further when I'm thinking about support. It's not just a power animal or a guide that's available. My experience is that I'm supported by the natural world. And my experience is that I'm supported by the trees around me, by the earth, by the sun, the air, water. All of the things that surround me are here to support me. Mama Earth supports me in so many ways every day. I ask for help from angels, and they support me. My guides drop me hints and nuggets of information. And my friends will send me the article that I need to read just in that moment. I am infinitely supported, and you are supported in exactly the same way. So I'm not someone special. As I mentioned, this is not just me to have this support. It's not just because I'm some special person that has this. Everyone has the support waiting for them. All you need to do is ask, right? We are sovereign beings. That's my particular viewpoint, that when we ask for support, when we ask for help, now it may not be always what we think. Like we can't always just say like, I want you to do this. It's not like that. It's more like, gosh, how can you help me make this to be a little easier? And maybe it's not what we think it will look like, but it does get easier. So everyone has that support waiting for them. All you need to do is ask. And that can be going outside and putting your hands on the trees. That could be if you live in an area where there aren't trees, maybe nearby, maybe it's not easy, you can talk to your houseplants. You can talk to the fly or the spider that's in your apartment. You can chat with the sun or the moon or the wind. Support is all around us each and every day. And we just simply aren't taught how to connect and feel the support that's around us. I remember wanting so badly to feel the support of some sort of guide or angel or anything, because I wanted to feel what other people described with their guides. I really wanted that. And I thought, well, I'm not special. I don't have that. I wanted to feel that the connection, the love, and that someone had my back no matter what. And it seems like someone with a PhD who's working in academia wouldn't normally want this, wouldn't normally look for this. But I've always been drawn to working with beings that are beyond the veil ever since I was young. And then I realized I could have this connection. And it was way easier than I thought. I just had to learn how to listen. So I learned how to support myself. I learned how to be present for myself. And I learned how to be supported by guides and by nature. And honestly, it changed who I am and how I show up in the world. I know I have my own back. I mean, not 24/7. I do have my missteps, and I know how to do that. I know my guides have my back. I know that my trees are with me and they have my back. And that, my friends, is the basis for peace and calm. That's where peace and calm originate. And that touches every part of my life. I want you to imagine, what if you were fully supported? What would you do differently? What would you feel like? How would you show up in your daily life? What would your life be like if you were fully supported? Because you are. If you don't feel fully supported, which believe me, I understand too, I want you to consider signing up for the Vibrant Health program that I offer. It's an incredible program with 3 months of full support to get you unstuck, connect you deeply with yourself and your guides, whether that be in health or in your relationships or in business. Okay, my sweet friends, I hope you know that you are fully supported. I'm seeing you all in your own divine light. Thank you so much for listening. Take good care of yourself. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Whole Body Upgrade. If you'd like to learn more about working with me, you can visit me on Facebook or Instagram or on my website, Centered You, that's centeredyou.com. See you on the next episode of Whole Body Upgrade.